In this episode of Cooking with Grandpa, we're going to make fajitas. Get started, I'm going to need something to put the cut vegetables in, so we'll get this pot down. We're going to need to cut up a bell pepper. Take the top off of it. Split it in half. Reach in and pull the seeds out. Alright, let's go ahead and you want to slice these in wide, long slices. The bottom. Anytime you're making fajitas, you want your peppers and your onions to be a good wide slice. And I'm going to do 2 of these. I do like a bell pepper. Alright, let's put this down the middle. Pull those seeds out. Now, when you go to a restaurant and you get fajitas, it's usually bell peppers and onions is what you get with it. However, I like a good poblano pepper. So I went and got me a poblano, which I'm going to go ahead and do the same. We're going to take the top off of it. Split it down the middle and remove the seeds. Now, if you wanted, you could save these seeds and plant them and they will grow. I'm going to take all the seeds that I pull out of these and all the small chunks of vegetable, the ends and stuff like that, and go throw it out in the woods. Let the raccoons and squirrels have them. Who knows? Maybe a pepper plant will pop up. Alright. Now let's slice us up an onion for this. Get the ends off of it. Put it down the middle. Peel the skin off of it. And we're going to make a couple of thick slices, just like that. These, I want to pull that a little closer. And when I'm breaking these up, I'm actually popping the very center out. So I've got the little center pieces. Toss those in the bag. All of this stuff will cook down, although I'm probably making more than I'll eat, but you never know. I'm awful hungry. I haven't had much to eat today. Had a couple of corny dogs for lunch, and that's about it. Alright. So we got our vegetables cut and ready. Set those off to the side. I'm going to take this cutting board out and rinse it off. I've had this piece of meat marinating in fajita seasoning for a while now, a couple of days. So I'll put the recipe for the fajita marinade down in the description. Let me reach up here and grab a pan. Set it on there. We're gonna flip this up. Go ahead and get this stove lit. Take it a few minutes to warm up. I just did a video on how to light these stoves, so if you can, I'll link to that video in the description, just in case you're wondering. Alright. Yeah, we got a good flame going. We're going to turn this down to a medium-low heat. Maybe a little more than that. Alright. Now I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of oil into the pan. We're going to let that get heated up. Since I'm dealing with cast iron, and cast iron gets hot, got my little handle holder there. We're going to roll this around, a little oil over it. Make sure we got a good flame going. I want to get that oil to the point where it shimmers. This cast iron pan that I'm cooking on is a Wagner, made sometime around the 1930s. Can't beat cast iron. And it is starting to heat that oil up. Alright. So I told the missus I'm going to make fajitas out here at the cabin, and asked her to get me some fajita meat. And she came back with a flank steak. And I said, why'd you get a flank steak? She says, well, couldn't remember what kind of steak fajitas were made out of. It's normally skirt, but you can do it out of flank. So let's go ahead and set that meat down in there. We're going to give it about 4 minutes aside. And let my hands off. Alright. That should be good enough. Go ahead and pick this meat up and flip it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look good? Because it looks good to me. Get you a little better angle. Look at that. And it smells amazing. Alright, that's about enough time for that. Get the cutting board out. I'm going to lift this out. Let me check that. You know what? I'm going to give it another minute on each side, or two. Not quite done. I put a little slice in it. It's a little too pink in the middle. Turn that over. Oh, give it a little squirt of lime juice. Go ahead and lift this flank steak out of the skillet. And I'm going to put this right on the cutting board. And I'm going to set this over here out of the way to let it sit while we do the vegetables. Now, this skillet's still hot. I'm going to add a little more oil to it, because the oil that's in it has been seasoned with all that fajita seasoning. And it smells good. It's got some little chunky bits in it. I want to scrape those little chunky bits loose. Now, we're just going to dump these vegetables right on into it. Give it another little squirt of lime juice. And we're going to let them cook. We'll stir them up a little bit in a minute. Now let's take a minute and talk about how to cut a piece of meat to be fajita meat. It is important that it be cut right. Fork. When you look at the piece of meat, the grain runs this way. It runs along this way. You always want to cut across the grain when you're cutting fajita meat, and you want to cut on a slight bias. The reason is that the meat used in fajita meat, whether it's flank or skirt steak, is usually a very tough cut of meat. And by cutting it across the grain like this, you soften the meat, because all the interconnecting tissue is the only thing holding it together. God, that's good. Oh yeah, that's good meat. That's what you want the vegetables to look like. You want the onions caramelized. You want the peppers softened. Look at that goodness. So let's make us a couple of fajitas. A couple, 3 or 4. Alright. So we're going to start with some meat. We're going to put a little onion and green pepper on it. Couple of good pieces of meat. Green peppers and onions. There we go. We'll go ahead and get this pico de gallo out. Sprinkle a little bit of that on it. We can't forget, we need a little bit of shredded cheese on that. You know, cheese makes everything taste better. There it is, 1 plate of fajitas going to the table. And there it is, fresh fajitas. Made on a camp stove using nothing but a cast iron skillet. God, that is good.